to say thank you to all of you. But before we go into that formal session, let me have some inputs on imagination that I have felt through this career. Imagination is very personal. I hope you understand this. Everybody is guided, facilitated, centered with a practical course of imagination. So when we talk about imagination in motion, it talks about the transformation. And this transformation is very, very crucial for all of our lives. Whenever we are talking about transformation, this transformation is talking about from abstract to concrete. Shapelessness to shape. And finally, it's an absolute journey from mortality to immortality. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityurma Amritangamaya, Dharman Sharanam Gacchami, Karman Sharanam Gacchami. So we have to understand that our life is not to have a journey from birth to death. It's not a journey from B to D. In between there is C. It talks about choice. Swamiji has mentioned life is all about 3 C's. The first thing is talking about chance. Everybody gets chance. But normally we have another tendency to let it go. Because we are suffering from a problem called tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow that never comes. Are you making the point? Nobody can say that I did not get a chance in my life. Nobody can say. So the capitalization of that chance makes you happy or unhappy. It's your choice. So the first C is the chance. Second C talks about choice. Make it a choice. You grab it. You don't wait for the second chance. Nobody knows when it's coming. What's the course of time? What's the passage of time? Nobody knows, because tomorrow is very suspicious by nature. Nobody knows. Even Shakespeare does not know it. I hope I make my point. And the last thing comes with that choice makes a change, or we have to make a change in our lives. So life is all about transformation. We have to think. So we are not destined to be born and to die at the end of our life. Finally, with the help of our imagination, we have to understand that this life is to represent a life. I hope I make the point. This is the invigoration that we have to draw. This is the enthusiasm we have to draw. And this is what inspiration is. There are so many self-help books, but I always believe that no book is so much important if you don't have the self-motivation. There are so many good people. You can't say that there is actually dearth of a good person on this earth. Can you say this? Definitely no. This world is not a wasteland. We are not in a barren land. I hope I make my point. But the problem is, a mind is not guided by positive, a mind is always guided by negative, and the problem begins there. Eventually we are talking about inspiration, we are talking about imagination, but somehow we have to drive this imagination to a positive guideline, and that's the problem. Are you making my point? Am I making sense to all of you? I'm sorry, I will take only 5 minutes, I'm not going to bore you. But this is my take home. This is my take home, and this is what I have understood about this imagination. Everybody is very, very precious because we have a faculty of imagination. Mishra sir, the renowned professor who has professed it at the very beginning lecture, that imagination makes us absolutely different. I told in one of my classes that perhaps human beings are the ones who make food, cook food. That's the uniqueness of human beings. Not only that, the second uniqueness is, not only we cook food, we serve food, but nobody serves food on this earth. Everybody snatches, everybody grabs. So the language is very, very violent. But our language is very soft, very moderated, sophisticated. And let's talk about our culture. So human beings are cultural animals. So we need to show our culture. How can we show this culture? By wearing some certificates? Definitely not. Our language will be such that by which we will definitely make others understand that we are human beings. So humanity must be focused. I think, for example, these 2 days, it has an entire focus. It has centered on imagination to bring it to the creative faculty. The moment we are talking about creative faculty, please understand, it's talking about a creative force, right? Whenever we are talking about creation, it talks about construction. We need to construct the world. That it does. Sometimes reality is very, very problematic for us, right? Reality is very, very problematic. It gives us so many impediments. Sometimes we are not able to bear the problems of the reality, and therefore we need literature. We need this imaginative faculty to get an escape from the reality. Alice in the Wonderland, perhaps you have read it. There is a beautiful definition, and the definition is, imagination is the only weapon in the war called reality. So if there is war in reality, or if reality is the war, you have only one weapon in your hand by which you can tackle it, you can safeguard yourself, and that's imagination. So what my focus is, eventually it's going to be very short later, eventually it's not short. I told madam that teachers are suffering from a disease called hemisphere. They want to speak more, that's one of the major problems, to be very frank. But speaking, or to be someone on the stage and you are delivering something, ultimately it makes you a real man. But writing makes you a complete man. Right? So we have to understand, why do I write? Rather, why shall I write? I'm telling you some practical perspectives. We write because we want to be authentic, right? We write because we want to document something. For the documentation, there is no process. You have to write it. And the third thing you think from the perspective of psychology, you can say that I have murdered a person to your friend, and you can be very, very choice about it. My dear. But can you write it? I have killed that person. Right? I hope you made that point. You can't write it. And therefore, writing is very, very essential, because writing is giving you a chance to ask a question to yourself. So what do I understand about writing is the process by which you get very closer to yourself. It's an inquiry of yourself. Right? It's talking about individuation. Carl Jung, what is individuation? Individuation is a continuous process of self-discovery. I love the word discovery. Education is the potentiality by which you discover that you are not for the simple birth and death. You are rather here to shape the mortality, and therefore you are going to the mortal figure. Could you remember the poem by Sydney? I wrote my name on the strand, but the waves come and now it has washed it away. So what does it represent? Waves are representing the waves of time. It will come and it will take you away. There will be no trace. But ultimately you have to do something by which you will inscribe your name on this mortal earth. Nobody has the power to erase that name, and therefore writing is one of the processes by which you can mortalize your name. Franz Kafka, 100 years back, there's a beautiful saying he says, know my writing and know me, K-N-O-W. Know my writing, know me. Full stop. No writing, N-O. No writing, no I. Are we making that point? And finally, towards the end, if you read Kafka's story, then finally we will come to know that he has burned down 90% of his manuscripts. Why? It's for metamorphosis. When something remains with you, you still get burdened. Nietzsche, the famous German philosopher, he has mentioned, the moment you have shaken down all your burdens, you will feel you yourself become your burden. Let me repeat. When you have shaken all your burdens, you have become a burden to yourself. And therefore, metamorphosis talks about that transformation from small to bigger, from national to international, from finite to infinite, from mortality to immortality. It's a journey towards tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Tameva viditya, Upanishad says, Tameva viditya iti mrityu meti. Tameva viditya, there is a vidya, if I know that, I will be going beyond the river called death. Tameva viditya means if I know that vidya, Tameva viditya iti mrityu meti means I will be crossing the death of your mortality. So this is writing for me. And finally, I will tell you a few words. Eventually, I've crossed 5 minutes. Sorry, because we are always the promise breakers. teachers, so we need to process it. Let's take this imagination in a different way. So as far as this workshop is concerned, we are absolutely focused and centered, rather we are fostered by the central idea that we have to put our imagination into creative writing, right? So we want to be a creator as far as drama is concerned, as far as poetry is concerned, as far as giving lecture is concerned. But can we think about a formation of a character? That's the need of the time. Think about it. I think, it's my feeling, absolutely you can default. Finally, at the end of the day, we have to be an absolutely fantastic human being who will be talking about the emotion of love to others. Swamiji said, my whole mission is to make a machine like man. The whole mission of Swamiji's life is to make a machine called man who will be speaking love to others. Think about it. What's the mission of life? It's not to get a job, it's not to get money, it's not to facilitate, it's not to establish yourself in relaxation. That's not the aim of Swamiji. Swamiji has sacrificed 39 years and he's saying it's to get the management so that poor Indians get food all the time. And he says, so long as hunger and poverty remains on this earth, I hold each and every person to be the traitor who are being educated by India. Pay no attention to those people. Are you making my point? And finally, I'll be defining what's India to Swamiji. Swamiji says the land which has attained the highest form of humanity in its greatness, gentleness, and generosity is called India. I hope you make a point. So I think if you take the personal suggestion, or if I say that it's my personal guidance to you, start thinking positive. Then only your imagination comes to a creative force. Otherwise, there is destructive force as well, because we have to be a good driver. Right? There is a lifeline which we need to control. Are you going to the bad? Are you going to the positive? Accordingly, our life gets constructed. In this phase, it's very, very important. I will quote from Gita. Krishna comes to Duryodhana and finally says, let's come to an end of the battle, Kurukshetra. And Krishna starts teaching him what are the good sides of dharma. My voice says, Janani dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is dharma, but nachame pravritti, I have no interest in it. You don't teach me what is the definition of dharma, I know it. Janani dharmam nachame pravritti. Pravritti means I have no inclination. I have no spontaneous urge to go back to that. The second line is, he saying, Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is adharma, but I cannot set myself out of that goal. That's the problem. I think we are human beings. Follies are very natural to all of us. But greatness is how do you come out of that follies or the trap of follies. So guide yourself. Finally, our aim is to be a genuine, good human being, to establish humanity on this earth. Otherwise, everything is a failure. Last thing, 1953, Einstein and Russell Burton, after the massacre of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they have come to a manifesto. That's called Burton, Russell and Einstein Manifesto. It was published in the year 1953. That last line is, you only remember humanity and forget the rest. You only remember humanity and forget the rest. So my request to all of you, let's project our imagination so that we can establish humanity on this earth, so that we can achieve a utopian goal. Thank you very much. This is my intake about what I have understood about imagination. Last part is vote of thanks. Thank you very much. I get this, so I should say thank you because you have given this opportunity. So the first thing, in that sense, whenever I'm here to give you that congratulation card, definitely it should go to all our students, beloved students. because they are at the center for whom we have sought it. And inception of this workshop is only for you. So you have shown interest, you have attended physically or psychologically, and therefore we are very, very thankful because you made it very, very successful. Thank you very much. Please stand yourself. Sometimes, again, we are talking about all imagination, but there will be no time to think about imagination, to be very frank. Why? Because time will be crushing you. So, my point is that when there is nobody to clap for you, you say, I as well. Clap for yourself. So, thank you very much. The real inspiration comes from our head of the department, Aarti madam. She thought about this for your welfare so that you get this practical purpose of writing your research, preliminary for the research scholars, and then it goes secondarily to all the students and for ourselves as well. Because I think I have started my scratch in English literature. So it's not only for you, it's not only for the students, but for myself as well. So we thank Aarti madam for the inception of the idea. Finally, it goes to all, right? By all, I need to take some name, but at the same time, if I miss out, please forgive me. Life is all about give and forgive, right? Jesus Christ says, you give, not take, keep and forgive. So forgive me if I have mistaken the name. Moni madam, Purnima madam, Rajesh ji, Ramprakash ji, and everyone who are connected to this department at present. But there are so many blessings in disguise as well, right? And finally, I need to thank to the administration because perhaps they did not say no to us that you can't organize. So a special thanks to them as well, those who have permitted us to go on with this workshop. Third, definitely goes to the torch bearers. Two eminent speakers from outside. Rahman sir, who is a principal, Pandey sir, who is a dean, head of the department, but still, they are managing both administration and academics. To be equivocal, it's very, very difficult job. Managing administrative tasks, you are still an academician, it's definitely giving you a challenge, a struggle, but they are managing it with their proficiency. We definitely show our gratitude to those speakers who have managed time for us and they have come with us with their gracious presence and they have manifested this workshop in the best possible way. So, thank you so much, sir. Before original dish comes, we begin with the starter, right? So lunch is given the first day, dinner is given today. But starter is very, very important. From there, we start to have a relishment, right? And nourishment. And that's given by none other than eminent professor from the university, personified. You can reach yourself. Thank you, sir. 45 minutes later, I'm not sure about, but it's close to 45 minutes. We have seen the powerful play of imagination. He was going in a flow from one direction to another, as if it's going to be a game of chess. Only powerful imagination can make you a player to connect things, right? It's to connect. So the way he touched and connected, it shows definitely. It shows the experience, the supreme quality, at the same time, imagination to its highest peak. So Sir has presented the idea, and that has been the starter for our sumptuous meal that we have tasted for these students. Thank you very much, sir. There are so many occurrences which have made us feel that, oh, we are not alone. There are other people who are there to stand by us. Dr. S.C. Roy, sir, Javed Akhtar, sir, Madam, Dr. Srivastav, sir, everybody has come with their gracious presence. Definitely, it's a blessing to our workshop. Their presence itself is a flash to the light of knowledge. So, we thank you, sir. Finally, I should take the name of the mic man, very innovative. Fantastic mic man. Definitely, he has come and he has done something because of which the voice gets to you, right? So we should thank that person as well. Eventually, I saw it very carefully. Hat is sometimes front, sometimes back. I was thinking very good. And it was talking about his confidence level, that eventually something is going wrong, but he's very confident. So sometimes we have to do like this, because maybe at the moment we come to pen and page, everything is not going the right direction, right? But we have to feel that we have to be very confident. This reminds me one of the quotations of John Lennon. He says, if you can do at the end of the day, it's not the end. If you can do at the end of the day, it's not the end. If you cannot do at the end of the day, it's not the end. Are you reading my point? So we have to be very smart. Jal pade pata nore. It's the first line written by Rabindranath Tagore. What is it? There is rain, Jal pade, there is rain, and all leaves are floating. That's the first two lines by Rabindranath Tagore at the age 7. Jal pade pata nore. So silly, right? But look at the transformation. He has become Rabindranath Tagore. However, if you face any difficulty, be like the mic man, so confident. Eventually things are not going right. Finally, I need to thank to the catering part. Sometimes we need to have food for our thoughts as well. It's not only for the psychic pain or physical pain, but it's only a food for the thought. So they have prepared something. Eventually there is a small space, a small area. There are so many hindrances and restrictions. You can't do that. So they feel like, okay, we are so much restricted and we have lost our freedom. Perhaps we can't cook well, but still they have cooked very well. So special thanks go to those people. And finally, I don't know, I have missed out anything else. Thank you very much to all of you. Let's make it for the next time. And this is the process by which we will share and we'll care for ourselves as well. Thank you very much. I'm thinking to sing 2 lines for you, if you wish.
Yes.